Disney princesses have been shaping ideas about women and gender roles for more than 80 years, from early princesses like Cinderella to modern characteristics like Merida. This story shows how society expectation of women have changed. In this vlog, we will see analyze three princesses across time: Cinderella from the classic Disney era, Jasmine from the Renaissance era, and Merida from the modern era. We will examine how each character represents women from their generation and how Disney portrayal of women have evolved. Cinderella represents the classic Disney princess from the 1950s. She is a young white woman with a blonde hair, blue eyes, and a very slender body type. Her personality is kind, patient, and hopeful, but she is also passive. Throughout the film, Cinderella follows traditional gender roles by cooking, cleaning, and serving her step-family. Her main goal is to accept her difficult life and find happiness. However, the film strongly emphasizes romance as the solution to her problems. Cinderella dreams of attending the royal ball and eventually being rescued by a prince. This reflects women's role in 1950s, when society expected women to focus on housework and marriage rather than independency or careers. Princess Jasmine represents the Disney Resonance era of the 1990s. Jasmine is a 16-year-old princess from Agrabah with a long black hair and brown eyes. Unlike earlier princesses, she shows more independence and confidence. Jasmine challenged gender roles by refusing to be treated as property and rejecting an arranged marriage. She openly speaks her mind to her father and to Jafar. Her goal is to gain freedom and choose her own destiny. However, the film still ends with romance showing that love is still an important part of the story. This reflects changing attitudes during the 1990s, when women were increasingly seeking independence but were still expected to follow traditional social expectations. Merida from the film Brave represents the modern Disney princess. She is 16 years old, Scottish princess with curly red hair and an athletic build. Unlike earlier princesses, Merida rejects traditional princess role entirely. She prefers archery, horse riding, and adventure rather than court life. When her parents try to force her into marriage, she refuses and demands the right to control her own future. Unlike Cinderella and Jasmine, Merida does not have a romantic storyline. Instead, the film focuses on independence and the relationship between Merida and her mother. This reflects modern values in 2000s where women are encouraged to pursue independence, leadership, and personal freedom. One pattern of misrepresentation across Disney princess films is the unrealistic beauty standards shown by the characters. All three princesses have extremely thin waist and idealized body proportion. Another pattern is need for romantic coupling. In older films like Cinderella, the entire story revolves around finding love. Jasmine still ends up with a romantic partner, although she has more independence. Merida shows the most progress because her story does not depend on romance at all. Research shows that media representation of gender roles can influence how children understand gender expectations. Studies by Sarah M. Coney found that exposure to traditional Disney films can increase gender stereotypical behavior in children. Another study by Dawn England found that early Disney princess films emphasize passive femininity while newer films shows more independent female characters. Over time, Disney princesses have evolved from passive characters focused on romance to more independent heroes who control their own destiny. Cinderella reflects the traditional gender expectation of the 1950s. Jasmine represents the growing independence of women in the 1980s. Merida shows the modern emphasis on freedom and self-determination. This change demonstrates how media continue to reflect and influence society views about gender roles.